by Joe, me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go pull the P-road down the bayou.
Hey y'all, we're back in the kitchen today. We're not exactly ready to do our third segment of the Hank Williams theme, the filet gumbo, but what I'm going to do today is show you how to make the roux that we're going to use for that gumbo. All a roux is part flour and part oil, and it can impart a delicious flavor to any dish that you're cooking, but it also serves as a thickener as well. I've heard over and over that you should use equal parts flour and equal parts oil. I don't believe that to be necessarily true. I think it depends on the type of dish you're doing. For instance, the longer you cook a roux and the darker it gets, the more it loses its thickening agent. So in the case of a really dark roux, I like to put 1.5 or 2 times the flour versus the oil. Y'all have seen me do a blonde roux in some of my other episodes when I'm doing an étouffée or something along those lines. That blonde roux, I do use equal parts butter, equal parts flour, because you don't brown it. The flour maintains its thickening power. So just remember, the darker the roux, the more flour you're going to need to have to get your thickening power where it should be. So what we're going to do, this is the most efficient way I've ever seen to make a roux or I've ever done, and I wouldn't recommend doing it any other way. You put your oven on 350 degrees, you put the appropriate amounts in a black iron pan, mix them up, and then it's going to sit in the oven for about 1 hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes. You'll have the perfect dark roux. You don't have to worry about it burning. You just go in there and stir it every 15 minutes or so. It comes out fantastic. Let me put it together. We'll show you when we get it up. Alright y'all, this is my my black iron skillet. What I did was I put in 1.5 cups of flour and 1 cup of just regular cooking oil, and we just want to blend this stuff together, and then we're going to get it in the 350 degree oven. And like I said, it's going to cook for about 1.5 hours, 1 hour and 15 minutes, something along those lines. And we stir it about every 15 minutes or so as it's heating up. It actually just comes out.
Folks, we just lit it in the oven, got everything incorporated. We'll check back in about 15 minutes, and we'll continue to stir every 15 minutes or so.
All right, y'all. It's been about 15 minutes. As you can see, this is just bubbling up. Doesn't have a lot of color as of yet, but that'll happen. It'll get there. Pretty much the right consistency for starting out a thick roux. And like I said, every 15 minutes or so we just come in and stir it up a little bit. Pretty simple stuff. Alright y'all, it's been going for about, I don't know, I want to say 30 minutes or so. As you can see, it's definitely getting darker. And yeah, just the great thing about it is no real chance for it to burn. You can leave it in here as long as you want. Yeah, you can leave it in here as long as you want to get as dark as you want, and it's on autopilot, Alright y'all, it's been probably 45 minutes or so, just going in for another stir. Like I said, it's going to take that 1.5 hours or so to get the dark color that we want for a gumbo roux or a fricassee, that sort of thing. Takes a while, but like I said, you just can't mess it up. Coming out perfect. Alright y'all, we're probably about 1 hour into this. As you can see, it's getting much darker and kind of thickening up. It's actually coming along great. One thing to remember, this stuff is incredibly hot. They call it Cajun napalm here. If that splatters on you, it'll burn you. So be very, very careful. Alright y'all, we're going on probably 1 hour and 15 minutes or so. Maybe even closer to 1.5 hours. I'm going to let this go a little longer. I'd like to get it as dark as I can for what I'm going to be using it for. I'm just going to let this cool and put it in a jar and use it for thickening up gravy that I might be making, or if I start a quick fricassee or something like that. So like I said, I'm not actually going to be cooking with this for some definite intention. I'm just going to let it cool, put it in a jar, and put it in the fridge, and you can use it for all kinds of great things. Alright, y'all, that's it, straight out the oven. I mean, I would say that's dark enough for a good gumbo roux. So, like I said, we're just going to let this cool, put it in a jar, and call it quits. And we can use it another day. It'll stay for quite a while in your refrigerator. Adds a great flavor, it's a great thickener, and goes awesome with just any time you're making a gravy of any sort. You can thicken it up a little bit with a nice roux. Well, there you have it.